Here is the recap of the first season of The Wheel of Time. The series has a lot of characters, location, terms, and events from the past. I will try not to throw everything at you at once as it is done in the series and give out gradually. However, at first it will still be quite difficult. Moiraine is a sorceress from the female order of Aes Sedai, as well as her warder Lan. Many years trying to find a child from a specific prophecy. For 20 years they have not found him, and one day they arrive in a small village where it turns out that the description of the Chosen One fits 4 teenagers. Rand is a kid who lives away from the settlement with his father. Perrin is the local blacksmith. Mat is a sneaky thief. And Egwene is a girl who has been feeling for a long time that she can use magic, the so-called One Power. These teens have been friends since childhood, and Rand and Egwene even have feelings for each other. However, Nynaeve, a sort of leader of the village, wants to make her his successor, but then she is not allowed to have a man. Moiraine tries to figure out which of the teenagers is the chosen one from the prophecy, but they all fit the description in one way or another. At night, the village is attacked by the monster Trollocs and the sorceress manages to defeat them. In this battle, Rand's father is killed, Nynaeve, the village leader, is dragged away by the monsters, and Perrin accidentally kills his wife after mistaking her for a monster. Moiraine tells the heroes that the Trollocs have come for them, as there is a prophecy of Dragon Reborn, and orders them to follow her if they want the monsters not to destroy their village. After that, the heroes head east to the White Tower, where the Order of Aes Sedai will figure out what to do with them next. Soon the heroes begin to have strange dreams, and Moiraine tells them of a prophecy. Several thousand years ago, people created a great civilization and used magic, the so-called One Power, at their own will. The strongest wizard with the title dragon imagined himself almost a god and decided to enslave the darkness itself. You could say to destroy the concept of evil itself. However, he failed and darkness desecrated the One Power, which led, roughly speaking, to Armageddon. Women from the Order of Aes Sedai, servants of all being, were able to stop the Dark One, the embodiment of evil in this world, but did not destroy it. There is a legend that the dragon will be reborn and kill the Dark One, but another outcome is possible. They could unite and destroy all life. After the desecration of the One Power, only women can use magic. If any man starts using magic, he will go crazy. Therefore, one of the tasks of Aes Sedai is to hunt down such men and cut their connection to the power. Meanwhile, the Trollocs, led by the Fates, servants of the Dark One, overtake the heroes and injure Moiraine. So the group has to hide in a cursed city where once for some reason all the people disappeared and now no one lives there. Mat finds the dagger and takes it for himself, although they were ordered not to touch anything. At night, the heroes are attacked by some darkness that destroys everything in its path, and they have to split up. From here on, the story will run parallel until they all meet again. So for convenience, I will tell the storylines separately. Mat and Rand walk east to the White Tower, where they hope to meet up with their friends. They reach a small settlement where they decide to take a break. They are soon attacked by a girl who is a follower of the Dark One, and she orders them to go with her. However, they are saved by a bard named Tom, who turns out to be not as simple as he seems. Soon the heroes notice that Mat is acting strangely and possibly starts using magic. However, as we know, men go crazy if they touch the power. One night they discover that Mat has disappeared somewhere and find him in a house full of corpses. Suddenly they are attacked by the Fade, and Tom orders the teenagers to run away. They manage to escape, and the fate of the bard is unknown to us. Rand suspects that Mat, using the Force, began to go crazy, but does not want to believe it. A month later they reach the city where the White Tower is located, but Rand decides not to go to the Aes Sedai yet, as they will cut off Mat's connection with the power, and that equals death. Perrin and Egwene decide to continue their journey to the east, and soon they are pursued by wolves. Moreover, Perrin for some unknown reason has some connection with the wolves, and the heroes realize that the beasts are not hunting them, but leading them in a certain direction. After a while they stumble upon a local nomadic people who follow the way of the leaf. Roughly speaking, they are pacifists and do not tolerate violence. Perrin is still suffering because he killed his wife, and he also wants to follow the way of the leaf. After a month of traveling, they reach the White Tower, but are caught by the White Cloaks, an order that considers the Aes Sedai to be witches. They execute all women who can channel the power and believe that Egwene is also capable of witchcraft. Falda, the leader of the White Cloaks, starts to torture Perrin to get the girl to confess, but suddenly they both use their powers. The boy summons wolves and the heroes manage to escape from captivity. After that, they reach the city where the White Tower stands. The wounded Moiraine and her warder Lan meet Nynaeve, who has escaped from the Trollocs' captivity. The girl does not trust the sorceress, but treats her wounds, as she too has a little skill in channeling the power. Nynaeve joins the sorceress in her search for heroes, and soon they meet a squad of Aes Sedai. It turns out that they have found a man who uses the One Power, who calls himself a reborn dragon. Moiraine realizes that he is a false dragon because he is not the right age, but he has unprecedented strength and at first glance can resist madness. However, the man eventually breaks free from the shackles of Aes Sedai and kills several women of the Order. It would seem that the heroes will die, but Nynaeve intuitively uses a power that no one has seen in centuries. The Aes Sedai cut off the false dragon's connection to the power, and Moiraine begins to suspect that it is Nynaeve who is the true reborn dragon, but does not tell her sisters. We also learn that the bond between Aes Sedai and her warder is so strong that if a sorceress dies, her man can't take it and would rather kill himself. A month later, Moiraine, Lan, and Nynaeve reach the White Tower. The sorceress warns the girl to beware of the Aes Sedai, as they are coming by to drag her into their intrigues. She soon learns that the other heroes have also arrived in town, but doesn't share this information with everyone. For starters, she visits Rand and Mat, where she discovers that Mat is imbued with a dark power. Moiraine guesses that the same dagger from the Cursed City is to blame, after which she sucks out Mat's corruption. However, she informs Rand that now the boy will always lean to the dark side and must never touch the dagger again. Some time later, she meets with Perrin and Egwene, where she learns that the boy can communicate with wolves. She advises her not to tell anyone about it, as the other Aes Sedai will want to kill him. Moiraine and the other sorceresses are summoned to the head of the Order of Aes Sedai, Siuan Sanche. She is not happy that the false dragon was separated from the power and not brought to the White Tower for trial as they were ordered to do. Siuan Sanche tries to find out what Moiraine has been doing all these years, but she won't tell, calling it a secret. The head of the Order banishes the heroine from the White Tower. At night, it turns out that Moiraine planned the whole thing. She has a close relationship with Siuan Sanche. Only the two of them know about Moiraine's secret mission to find the reborn dragon and defeat the Dark One. Exile is necessary to keep the other Aes Sedai from digging deeper and following the heroine. Moiraine gathers the rest of the heroes and together they travel to the Eye of the World, where the Dragon Reborn will have to fight the Dark One. But since it is not let clear which of the teens is the dragon, she takes them all. The Enchantress decides to take a shortcut and go through the ways, a magical network of corridors created once upon a time, but the darkness has made this place dangerous. Everyone goes inside. However, Mat decides to stay and the passageway closes, and at the end of the season, he returns to the Cursed City. Meanwhile, Moiraine forbids sorcery inside the ways, but suddenly they are attacked by Trollocs and one of the heroes uses the power. This causes them to be chased by the Black Wind, causing the group's deepest fears. Nynaeve creates a shield of light and the heroes manage to escape in time. The heroes reach a town that has guarded the frontier for centuries against the darkness and its manifestation of desolation. Moiraine asks the local seer to tell the future of the teenagers to see which of them is the Dragon Reborn. The woman doesn't see it, but informs her that each of the characters is important to the Great Pattern. The pattern in this universe is something like destiny, and some people are marked by the thread, meaning they are important to the fate of the entire world. Moiraine tells the heroes that only the dragon can survive in the Eye of the World, and all the others will simply die. She gives them one last chance to change their minds and leaves. Afterwards, the teens quarrel. Meanwhile, Nynaeve has had feelings for Lan Moiraine throughout the season and sleeps with him. Eventually, the heroes decide to sacrifice themselves and go to fight the Dark One. However, Rand suddenly realizes that he is the Dragon Reborn, and throughout the season finds himself using the power. He comes to Moraine, and in order to protect his friends, just the two of them go to the Eye of the World. We are also told that the hero is an Aiel. Roughly speaking, this is a strong warrior race. The hero's mother died in battle, but gave birth to a child, and he was picked up by a warrior from the opposite side, then raised him as his own. The Dark One's army began to gather troops and attack the last frontier of humanity. They broke through the wall, but the incredibly strong Nineveh and the other girls destroyed the villain's army. Nineveh, having used too much of the power, begins to die, but Egwene manages to heal her. Meanwhile, the Dark One's servants infiltrate the castle. Paden Fane, who has appeared here and there throughout the season, kills the guards and steals from under Perrin's nose the artifact of the Horn of Valyrie, which in the past has helped the humans defeat the Dark One. Soon, Moraine and Rand reach the Eye of the World. The Dark One appears in his human form and separates Aes Sedai from her power, making her an ordinary human. He tries to bend Rand to his side, but the hero resists and casts out the evil. However, he breaks the seal that restrains the darkness. After that, we are given to understand that the Dark One has planned everything, and all 5 heroes will be important in the future fate of mankind, and it is not known what side they will choose, light or darkness. Having won this battle, Rand begins to hear the words of madness as the other men channel the power. He asks Moiraine to tell the others that he is dead, and leaves for an unknown destination. Meanwhile, we see a huge fleet of an unknown army whose sorceresses create giant waves. This is the end of the first season. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.